I had no intention of creating an album this year until one sleepless night in the middle of January. But before I can tell you more about that, I gotta rewind a little bit. So, back in December, I started reflecting on the whole year and seeking God to discern what was next for me in 2026. And in January, I ramped things up a bit by doing 21 days of prayer and fasting, which is basically a detox from distractions so that I could tune in and hear more clearly. Now, a little life context for January. As for my day job, think swirling chaos, day-long meetings, a frenzy of content creation, agonizing leadership decisions, hard conversations, an emotional roller coaster. In my spare time, I was attending every masterclass, intention-setting session, and New Year workshop that popped into my newsfeed. And in the quiet moments I carved out in between, I spent a lot of time in deep introspection and prayer and reflection. So it was against that backdrop that one sleepless night, something began to well up within me. And as for what happened, I think it would be easiest to just read some excerpts from my journal the next morning. You might not be able to catch everything, but I believe you'll get the gist. So I'm just going to read it. Last night, I couldn't go to sleep. My brain was whirring, and I was up past midnight, but I had such a strong impression of disparate sparks coalescing. What seemed to be coalescing are many aspects of how you uniquely made me and other glimpses I've seen about what my future may hold. How I love singing, the peace, joy, and catharsis I get from it. How I feel like I'm exactly who and where I'm supposed to be when I'm performing something with a powerful message. How my heart wants to act and embody different emotions and characters and stories. How I long to create beautiful things that will touch hearts, nourish souls, replenish the spirit, and spark a fierce and relentless curiosity and hunger to know you. How I felt that in the years since 2020, I have been hidden, buried in the ground, and have doggedly clung to trusting that I am not in my grave, but germinating in the ground. My deep desire to collaborate with like-minded creatives, my intense agitation with the status quo, the themes you gave me on my birthday in 2024 and into 2025, no longer buried, but coming above ground, being seen, being visible. And just now, finally naming that singing and songwriting is the form of creativity that feels most alive for me right now. My heart is feeling so attuned right now. It's like my spirit is listening with its head cocked, ear pointed toward the heavens, like I caught the whiff of a scent on the breeze and feel a strong pull to follow it. I think I'm sensing a major shift on the horizon. What rose up within me was a picture of me creating and releasing an album and sharing the whole process along the way, and I even also had an image of me performing. And that was thrilling because, yes, clarity, finally, I've been waiting for years. But also thrilling in a throw yourself off a cliff and pray the bungee cord wins its fight with gravity kind of way. Kind of terrifying, but also so inspiring and energizing. And I was like, Lord, is it finally time for me to put my running shoes back on? Because I know how to run. Is it time to run again? But then within the span of just a few weeks, life crashed back in again. And I realized that I keep expecting that if I can just get through this thing, if I can just get through this next thing, then life will ease up, then things will be more convenient, then it will feel possible to do the thing. But I'm realizing that this is not a sprint where I can run hard and fast because there's a promise of rest right around the corner. If this is going to happen, I'm going to have to work it out in the midst of the complexity of my daily life, in the midst of curveballs and hurdles and unexpected loss and grief. It'll require the steady plodding along of a hike, a long hike through sometimes sketchy terrain. It's not running shoes I need to put on, but hiking boots. And maybe you're in that same place. Maybe there is a story or a song or a painting inside of you, and you've been waiting for life to get easier first. But what if the invitation is to start anyway? Over the next year, I will be documenting my whole spirit-led journey of creating an album and releasing it into the world. Songwriting, learning how album creation works, collaborating with musicians and producers, all while navigating the demands of life and sharing my lessons learned along the way. All with the tentative goal of releasing the album and doing some kind of live performance by the end of next winter. This is nerve-wracking, saying this out loud and declaring it publicly, but I believe it's what I heard, and only hindsight can verify that. So in the spirit of my beloved late mentor Kelly Berger, I'm giving my yes. Given that the alternative is staying exactly where and who I am right now, I might as well try. So if you have felt songs or stories or prose or choreography or images, something bubbling up in your heart, but life has felt too chaotic to begin, I invite you to follow along. As I share how all of this unfolds for me, I'll also be sharing how you can take your unfinished ideas, discern where to focus, and actually bring your creative projects to life too.